Snow pressed against the restaurant windows like a held breath, the kind that made the city feel emptied of sound. The elderly man sat at the corner table where the light was kindest, silver, where aligned with exacting care, napkin folded into a quiet triangle. His hands, veined, steady, accustomed to signatures that moved markets, rested beside a single glass of water. The waiter had asked, kindly, if he was expecting someone. He'd smiled and said yes, because saying no would have made the night heavier. The piano played carols too softly to be cheerful. Candles burned with the patience of people who knew how to wait. Outside, families hurried with wrapped boxes, and laughter, like a currency, he no longer traded in. Inside, the billionaire watched the door, counting the seconds between glances, remembering a house that once rang with noise, a wife who laughed when he overplanned, a daughter who called him Dad. Like it was a promise. He had built towers of glass and steel, but time had moved the furniture of his heart without asking. When the door opened again, cold rushed in, followed by a woman in a worn coat and a boy clutching her hand as if it were an anchor. They paused, scanning the room, hope flickering like a match in wind. The host hesitated. Reservations were full. Christmas Eve was unforgiving, but the boy's eyes landed on the piano, then the lights, then the elderly man sitting alone. He whispered something, tugged his mother forward. She approached the table with an apology already forming, the way people learn to preempt disappointment. The boy asked, voice small but brave, if they could sit near by because it felt warm there. The billionaire looked up, really looked, and saw himself reflected in the space between them, need and pride balancing on the same thin wire. He heard his own voice surprise him. Please, he said, standing with effort, join me. The mother protested, but the chair was already pulled out. As they sat, the boy smiled, a quick, unguarded thing, and the room seemed to exhale. 3 plates arrived. The billionaire ordered soup he didn't need and bread he wouldn't finish, because sharing had suddenly become essential. When the boy laughed at a joke that wasn't very good, the man felt something unlock, an old door opening inward, not out. Christmas, it seemed, had found him anyway. They talked in the gentle way strangers do, when kindness is the only common language. The mother spoke of working nights, of learning to be strong without forgetting how to be soft. The boy spoke of school projects and the way stars looked like holes punched in the dark. The billionaire listened, not as a patron, but as a man starved for ordinary truth. He told stories he'd stopped telling, of mistakes made in pursuit of more, of victories that tasted like ash because no one was there to share them. When the check came, the mother reached for her purse with practiced resolve, cheeks burning. The man shook his head. Tonight, he said, is on me. Outside, snow fell heavier, and inside, something like grace settled. The boy asked if the piano could play one more song. The man nodded to the pianist, who obliged. As the melody swelled, the elderly billionaire felt the weight of the years soften. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but he knew this moment mattered. When they stood to leave, the mother thanked him with tears she didn't hide. The boy hugged him without asking. In that simple, fearless embrace, the man found a triumph no balance sheet could measure. He walked them to the door, watching them disappear into the snow, and realized that being alone had never been the same as being empty. Christmas Eve ended not with fireworks, but with a quiet certainty. Hearts could still be built, and this time he would not build them alone.